Good morning, everyone. So, in today's math lesson, we are going to talk about what happens when we have to add zeros to the dividend. We've already worked on this a little bit, but we're going to work on it more today. Before we get started practicing problems, I am going to share my screen with you, and we are going to see a couple of things we need to remember when we are dividing decimals. So when we're dividing decimals, you can see on the screen if you'd like to write these down or take a picture of the screen so that you can remember this. It's a great way to study for your test. A couple things to remember when you're reviewing on Monday. If you have a decimal, you cannot have a remainder. So if there is a decimal in your problem, you cannot have a remainder. We will go over one problem today where we cannot have a remainder, and so we're adding zeros to the dividend. And we'll go over another problem where we get rid of our decimal like we practiced 2 days ago. And we could have a remainder, but I'm also going to show you how to get rid of that remainder. Okay? In order to get rid of your remainder, you have to add a zero to the end of your dividend, drop that zero down, and keep dividing until you do not have a remainder or until you get zero as your remainder. You cannot have a decimal in the divisor. We practiced that 2 days ago with our dribble, dribble, shoot method. You dribble the decimal out of the divisor, dribble it the same number of times in the dividend, and then you shoot it up to the top of your house so that it will be in your quotient. And then just a quick reminder that the steps to divide are DMSB. You divide, multiply, subtract, and then you bring it down. So if you do not already have a piece of paper out, go ahead and get one. That way you can take some notes or you can write these problems out with me. Our first problem that we're going to do today is 45.8 divided by 4. You may have seen it. I kind of showed it a little bit. But I want you to go ahead and set this problem up in the house how you would have to work it out. Give you a few seconds. Alrighty, guys, so your problem should look like this. You should have 45.8 as your dividend under the house and 4 is your divisor outside of the house. What is the first step that we are going to take here after we have set up our problem? We're going to shoot that decimal straight to the roof. Now, we say I have 4, and I need to know how many times 4 can go into 4, or what is 4 divided by 4? 1. If I have 4, I can make one group of 4, right? That was our divide step. Now we multiply. 4 times 1 is 4. So we subtract. 4 minus 4 is 0. Now we're on that B, which is bring it down. So we bring down that 5. We have 5. How many groups of 4 can we make, or what is 5 divided by 4? 1. 1 times 4 is 4, so we're going to subtract. 5 minus 4 is 1. Bring down our 8. If I have 18, how many groups of 4 can I make? Or 4 times what is as close to 18 as we can get? I know that 4 times 3 is 12. That's less than 18, so let's try 4. 4 times 4 is 16. That's really close. Let's see if we could go to 5. 4 times 5 is 20, and I don't have 20, so I've got to stay at 4. So I have 4 groups, and 4 times 4 was 16. So I subtract, and I'm just going to move it right up here. 18 minus 16 is 2. Do I have anything else to bring down? No. This is where we add a 0, right? I can't have 2 as my remainder, so I add a 0 because that is not changing the value of my dividend. And I'll bring it down, which in this case, I'm going to bring it right over here. And I have 20. So if I have 20, how many groups of 4 can I make? 5, right? 4 times 5 is 20. And so we subtract 20 from 20 because we used 20 of the 20 that we had, and we get no remainder. So our answer is 11 and 45/100. And we no longer have a remainder, so I don't have to add any more zeros. Alrighty, we are going to do one more problem together. And this one, I'll see if you realize it first. Alrighty, so your problem is 18 divided by 7.5. So go ahead and set that up for me. Alrighty, so you should have it set up like this. 18 is your dividend under the house, 7.5 is your divisor outside of the house, and then your quotient will go on top of the house. What are we going to have to do before we can do anything else? We have to make our divisor a whole number, right? If you look at our third little decimal over here, you cannot have a decimal in your divisor. So how many times do I need to move that decimal to make 7.5 a whole number? Just once, right? I can move it one time. Here may be a tricky little question for you. Where would my decimal be in 18? At the end of my number, right? Any whole number has a sneaky decimal at the very end. Since I moved it once in my divisor, how many times do I have to move my decimal in my dividend? Once as well. So what goes into that empty space? A 0. Awesome job, guys. So my new problem is 75 as my divisor and 180 as my dividend. So it's 180 divided by 75. So we are going to start working out this problem. All right, if I have 1, can I make a group of 75? No, I only have 1. I don't have 75, right? So I can't make any groups, and 0 times 75 is 0, so I'm going to subtract. 1 minus 0 is 1, and I bring down my 8. I have 18. Can I make a group of 75? Still can't, right? I don't have enough to make one full group. So another 0. I bring down my 0. Now, if I have 180, how many groups of 75 can I make? I know I can at least make 1. Let's see if I can make 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Drop a 0, carry a 1. 7 times 2 is 14. Plus 1 is 15. So I know I can make 2. Could I make 3? If you're not sure, work it out and let's see. 5 times 3 is 15. Drop my 5, carry my 1. 7 times 3 is 21. Plus 1 is 22. I don't have 225, so I can only make 2 groups. So my 2 goes here. And I said 2 times 75 was 150. So I'm going to subtract. 0 minus 0 is 0. 8 minus 5, 3. 1 minus 1, 0. So do I have a decimal in my problem? I don't, right? Because I had to move it out. So you could stop here and say 2 remainder 30. But since we've been working on not having a remainder, I'm going to show you how you can get rid of this remainder. So where would my decimal be in 180? Right at the end, right? We even moved it there at the beginning of our problem. Can't I add a 0 behind the decimal and it not change my value of my number? I can. So if I put that decimal and add that 0, I have to remember to bring that decimal straight up, but I can drop that 0 and keep working. So if I drop that 0, I have 300, and I try to figure out how many groups of 75 can I make with 300? Well, I know I could make 3 with 225, so let's try 4. 5 times 4 is 20, so drop my 0, carry my 2. 7 times 4 is 28, plus 2 is 30, and I got 300, right? So I put 4 up top because I made 4 groups, and then 75 times 4 was 300, and 300 minus 300 is 0. So I got rid of my remainder, and my answer is 2 4/10, or 2.4. Since I did not have a decimal in my divisor, then I could have just put the remainder 30, but you can also keep working because 0.0 does not change the value of 180, right? That number is still 180. Alrighty, guys, you have a short assignment right below this to help you practice with just a couple of problems. It is all multiple choice. If you have any questions, hit that message button at the top of Schoology and let me know. Remember, you will have a review day on Monday, and then your test will be on Tuesday. So if you have any questions, let me know so that we can get those figured out before you take your test. I hope that you have a great rest of your day.